Okay, this is gonna be a pretty quick video. I've been playing with this SHURE MV7 microphone for a little while now, and to be honest, I actually think it's a really nice USB microphone. I like that it also has XLR, so if you are someone that uses an interface and you don't want to use a USB microphone, I do like that this offers XLR and USB. I think SHURE has done a really good job here of basically making an SM7b, which everybody knows is like the gold standard for podcasting and narration and all that kind of stuff, as a microphone. But my problem with this mic though is mainly aesthetic. When SHURE announced this MV7 microphone, I was a little bit confused because obviously it kind of looks like an SM7b. And of course, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can make it look even more like an SM7b and even function a little bit closer to an SM7b. But when it first came out, I was like, it's not necessarily the cheapest microphone you can get, especially when you consider other affordable USB mics. But at the same time, I was like, it's SHURE. We know SHURE makes great mics. We also know the SM7b is a legendary microphone for podcasting and for doing voiceovers and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I'm interested in this microphone. I would like to try it because I'm curious. Now, having had this mic now for a couple weeks, I will have to say, this is one of the best USB mics that I've ever used. Is it the best mic that you can possibly get? That's harder to say because on the price side, it's a little bit complicated. I would still probably say grab a Rode NT USB Mini for 99 bucks and you'll be smooth sailing and everything's fine. But there is just something to be said about the SHURE SM7b, more so from an aesthetic purpose. Now, as silly as that sounds, if you watch any podcast, any modern podcast really lately, you're pretty much always going to see an SM7b. It's either that or an Electro Voice RE20. But really, the SM7b is absolutely everywhere. So if there's a microphone in frame like this, which is something I don't even usually typically do, but if I was doing a podcast, if I was doing a video podcast especially, this is something, you know, it's a mark of quality now, as silly and as stupid as that sounds. The problem with this specific microphone, the MV7, is the aesthetics though. It's like they took an SM7B and just plastered it with SHURE branding, and that to me is just kind of ridiculous. So today I'm going to show you how you can make this MV7 look and also function a lot more similar to an SM7B. Now, one of the first ways we're going to make this microphone sound better and also look closer to an SM7B is this pop filter. So I was watching a video, and in that video, they talked about how you can actually put the pop filter from an SM7B, which is this RK35 or 25 that you can buy, and it pops right on to the MV7. So if I listen to the plosives on this right now with the stock pop filter, you'll notice that it's still quite plosive. You can hear a lot of p, pizza, pop, Patrick. And now if I switch this out, if I take this off, you can even see the size here. The SM7B pop filter is quite longer, and I think this distance makes a huge difference. So this will just slide onto here, and now you have an SM7B front half of this microphone. And I think it sounds a lot better too. Pizza, pop, Patrick. The plosives are a lot more well-contained, and I just think it sounds a lot better. And of course, it looks better too. The next thing on our list that we need to fix though is this unfortunate SHURE branding. The first thing I was thinking is like, maybe I could just put some tape on the logo and just kind of cover it, but I thought that would look kind of cheesy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a step further, and I got this stuff called Plastidip. Now, if you're in the automotive industry at all, or if you've ever played with cars and whatnot, you will know this as a way to kind of matte black out emblems. People use this even to cover their entire rims and their wheels with it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask tape this whole thing out, and I'm gonna spray paint it to really get that SM7B look. Now in Canada, the SM7B is $549 and this MV7 is $349. So you're saving quite a bit of coin. You're actually adding more capabilities to the SM7B if you think about it, by making it a USB mic as well as an XLR mic. Personally, I've always been a fan of USB mics because you can just plug them into basically anything. You can even plug them into a smartphone or an iPad, whatever. And XLR is a little bit more limited in the sense that you will need an interface. And in the case of the SM7B, oftentimes you also need a cloud lifter. So that $549 price point for the SM7B escalates quite quickly when you think of the entire signal chain. You're gonna need an interface. Odds are you'll probably want a cloud lifter too. So, you know, a $549 microphone can easily push almost $1,000 all said and done. With the MV7 though, it's plug and play and you're ready to go. And with these simple little kind of mod hacks, you pretty much have an SM7B at that point. Is it going to be exactly the same on the audio front? No. But is it enough of a difference to justify doing the upgrade and also saving some money? I think so. So let's just see if we can get this thing looking like an SM7B, and we're going to spray paint it, and then we'll come back here and we'll see how it looks on camera. So here's a little DIY hack of me spray painting this MV7. The first thing you want to do is you're just going to take the mic off of its stand that it comes with, and that's relatively easy. There's just two kind of tiny little screws there, and it's right off the stand and it's ready to go. Now, the only thing we need to do here is actually just tape the opposite side of the logo. So where the touch controls are and where the mic is. I don't really care about the bottom. I don't really care about anything else. I'm just trying to spray where the logo is. So I'm just going to tape this all up so we don't get anything inside the electronics. Now that everything's taped, I'm just gonna put one small piece of tape now on the bottom just to cover the XLR port, the headphone jack, and the USB port. Just to be cautious, throw a little tape under there so nothing gets inside and ruins your mic. Now we're all taped up, everything's looking good, everything that I need covered is covered. It's time to get spraying. Now I live in a loft, so I don't really have a backyard or anything like that. So I had to get a bit creative. And so I picked up this plastic drop sheet and I'm pretty much just gonna use my patio as my spray point. Now, of course, you should just follow the instructions that are on the Plastidip can. I kind of briefly followed them, but for me, it just took about 2 coats. The whole thing here is you just want to spray evenly. You don't want it to get drippy or droopy. It's all about small, even takes. I did 2 coats of this stuff and it seemed to cover it just fine. This is where you just kind of need to experiment a little bit. But for me, in my personal use, it took about 2 coats and about an hour of drying. Okay, we are back. And as you can see, this looks pretty damn good. Honestly, for about an hour of work and a little bit of spray paint, like $30 maybe worth of materials, we've gone from a relatively cringy looking microphone to a microphone that looks almost identical to a SHURE SM7b. So if you were originally put off by the SHURE MV7 because of how it looked and all the crazy gaudy branding, here's your solution. Now you have an SM7b for less than $400 and it works with USB. So in a way, you're getting almost a better microphone than the SM7b, but you didn't hear that from me. I don't know why I keep doing rhyming things on these episodes. Links to everything that I talked about in this video, as always, are in the description. If you have any questions, let me know, and you will see me the next time I feel like making a video. Peace.